Hello, one and all, and welcome to the inaugural broadcast of Chronicles of the Fray. I am your Master of Ceremonies, MC Fray, and with me I have some friends, and we're going to play a D&D campaign. Our first campaign for the channel is called Troubles in Toraigh, and with me I have my friends, Ethan, Emily, Taylor, Jack, and Jake.
Hello.
And we are all really excited to have you along with us to witness this story be told. We've been preparing really hard for this project, and we are particularly excited for it because this project is a Wilder project. The Wilder project is a shared world IP where creators can use the structure and lore of this fantasy world called the Wilder in order to create their own stories and games. In fact, a lot of us on this live stream are involved in another Wilder project or two, or all of them. It's our hope that for many of you, this will serve as a small introduction to a world that is becoming ever larger as its community and community of creators grows. There's a lot more to come, and we're really looking forward to building out this platform so that choices made by our players and the audience can have real and tangible impacts on the other stories taking place throughout the Wilder. And we hope you'll join in our effort to further realize and connect this world through everything from our webcomic, Magnum L, our mobile game, Tower of Gaia, and our tabletop board game, Kingstone, all of which are currently released or coming soon. To learn more about those projects and how to support them, you can go to thewilderproject.com to learn more, or check our details below. If you're interested in supporting the campaign and improving the quality of the stream, we hope you'll choose to become some of our first patrons by pledging on our Patreon, which can be found below or at patreon.com/Chronicles of the Fray. All right, with all the shameless plugging out of the way, real quick, we're just going to go over some ground rules. Number one, I am not a professional DM, nor are my players professional role players. We have receptive ears and open hearts for any feedback that folks have, but ultimately it's our game and we're going to play it how we like it. So respect our play style, and we'll make sure that our community members, our other community members, respect yours. Along those lines, this campaign is set in the world of the Wilder, which is not directly compatible with D&D rules. For the most part, we'll be sticking to the rules of D&D for almost all of the mechanical aspects of our game. But flavor-wise, everything is not always going to be a perfect fit between in-game descriptions of effects and how we explain those effects in this world. We are implementing some custom rules that we anticipate releasing in a module further down the line so that you can play D&D in the world of the Wilder like us too. Finally, one of the reasons why I love playing D&D the most is because you really can never expect what happens. And that makes it a really entertaining experience. But that does mean that neither myself or any of us involved in the stream will ever truly have complete control over the content that will be covered during the course of the campaign. So we ask that you please be mindful of what content might be potentially distressing for you. And if you feel like things are heading in that direction, we highly encourage that you take a break from the live stream and you can pick the story back up via VOD on YouTube once the live play is over. With all of that concluded, I think we are ready to actually get into our campaign. So let's get started. Welcome to the world of the Wilder, a fantastical other world where the fears and dreams of our childlike imaginations become real as living, anthropomorphic, and in most cases humanoid manifestations of toys and monsters, as well as many other fantastical beings. Entirely unaware of the human psyches that link them into existence, these toys and monsters struggle like any other beings to create a place for themselves in this world. That struggle has resulted in a long and terrible war between the monsters known as Fomorians and the toys of the nations of Dub-Kuain and Ertakuns. During this tense conflict, there are few locations in all the Wilder where toys and monsters can be found coexisting in harmony, except for one major exception in the city of Toraigh, where our story is set to unfold. The city of Toraigh has developed major exceptions to international embargoes to allow the forces of both toys and monsters to compete for resources across their conflicted borders. This makes Toraigh a ripe place for conflict, and with stakes that can have far-reaching consequences across the Wilder and all the stories being told within it. Today, as our story begins, serendipity has intertwined the fates of 5 unique toys and monsters, each as unfamiliar with the strange customs of this city of Toraigh as we all are. All have jumped at the opportunity to create new lives for themselves while asking few questions. Now, their determination to create new paths for themselves bring them together here. It is a chilly evening off the coast of northwestern Dubcluane, where the cool ocean breeze rushes through the cliff-top trees, all rustling loudly as leaves, all the colors of autumn, are stripped from their branches and carried off inland. As they flitter across the open countryside beyond the bluffs, they brush past a lone, poorly covered wagon, being drawn by 3 cloaked figures. It rumbles steadily across this poorly flattened earthen path, driven in back by a lone figure in a dark blue cloak. After some time, the wagon approaches an old condemned lumber mill. It sits in a valley completely barren of trees, the broken wheel of its mill just teetering above the water. The mill itself is positioned next to a large, broken-down warehouse where various cracks and holes in the roof and walls show torchlight flickering within. As the wagon stops and its bearers let it down, the figure can be heard saying, "The lieutenant commander is waiting for you all inside with the recruits." The 3 cloaked figures enter the warehouse. There is an overseer's deck as they walk in through the front door that runs entirely down one wall of this warehouse. From that elevated position, you can see the lieutenant commander of the Toraigh chapter of the Enforces, a large 7-foot-tall gargoyle with marble-colored skins, broad, proud shoulders, and a thick, square chin. His brow is furrowed deeply, his steely gray eyes looking over the flurry of activity before him. Within this empty warehouse, dozens of soldiers, all dressed in nondescript black guard, all dragging in people, one by one, some bound by rope, others in large charcoal black potato sacks. 3 of them are carrying what looks to be a large clay gourd of some kind. The soldiers are divvying these people up and standing them up in circles of rope that have been laid out on the floor. The large gargoyle, known as Winston Rochester, turns his thick neck as he glances towards our 3 cloaked figures and gives an affirmative nod. "Glad to see Captain Atlas got y'all here in one piece. You know, might be the most understaffed the enforcers of Toraigh have ever been, what with all of us out here in this little side project of the commanders. It's one thing to get the intel, but you still need to get the officers out there walking the beat. Don't you agree there, Baxter? All these people are clear. You guys can ditch the cloaks." The cloak figures all begin casting aside their cloaks, the first of which is our very own Reuben Baxter. Jack, could you please describe your character for us?
I walk up and I remove my cloak, and you guys are probably looking at either of the other cloaked figures around me and unexpecting to see the 4-foot cloak kind of remove itself, and then you see this little white bunny. He's dressed up very nice. He has a tuxedo blazer on with the tails, and it's a little blue blazer, and he's got some stitches that are very noticeable, and some stuffing wounds that he clearly was wounded recently, and with a very gruff, grumpy expression, he says, "Hello, Rochester."
Aside Reuben Baxter is another stuffkin like him. This race is known as a toy race. Though they are flesh and blood like any other living being, their physical appearance still resembles that of a child stuffed animal. The particular stuffed animal resembled next to Reuben is that of a stuffed beaver, a tall, broad-shouldered, proud-looking beaver, clutching an imposing warhammer and a large, thick, round buckler shield, wooden in its make and frame, tarnished. It's framed in tarnished steel. Reuben, you would know him to be Bedwig Plumber.
Turn to Bedwig and I just kind of give him a shake because I haven't seen him.
He nods at you affirmatively and he says, "That's right."
Real quick, the idea is that we arrived separately, correct?
Yeah, the three of you arrived together.
Oh, my bad.
You are here now and ready to get
shaken anyway. We shook before the trip, and now we're shaking again because we're here. We made the trip, Mike. Good job, Bedwig. All right.
And he says, "Right, you are, Lieutenant Commander Rochester. We're ready to get to work." And you hear beside him a faint sigh as the third cloak is withdrawn, and next to him we see a about 5'3" fish folk spearwoman. Her scales dark blue and fins purple, though they become bright pink where the skin becomes thin. She stands dressed in black leathers, just like our other two officers, and kind of gives an exasperated sigh, and she says, "Let's just get this over with and get back, okay?"
And then I kind of preemptively pat my pockets and then give her a handshake. Yeah, all right.
She eyes you kind of oddly, but she finally finds the handshake, and you complete your grasp. And as you do, the lieutenant addresses the three of you. He says, "Right, well," he unfolds one large gargoyle wing in sync with his arm as he gestures out to all of the bound figures arranged on the workroom floor below. He says, "Somewhere among these recruits is your squad. Each of your squads, the ones that make it anyway. We divided these folks up by height order, but other than that, we don't really know anything about them. Get to know these lowlifes in your group. Get them unbound. Take some time to figure out who's got what when it comes to skills. Don't give them any info about who we are or what we're here to do. Then we'll put you all to the test and see who's really got those skills. And once those folks are in, we'll give them the lowdown. You understand me?"
Yes. Couldn't follow you more, Rochester.
Without even responding, you see that Bedwig Plumber has hoisted up his warhammer and buckler and is walking right over to the group closest to the entryway. He immediately walks up to the first person and just whips the hood off of their head. And he immediately walks up and begins saying, "Right, how are you, soldier? Are you ready to do some good?" And he starts untying his bound hands and says, "All right, what weapons do you wield? What are you best at? Let's see what we're working with here." And you can see Kelda Meltem, the fishfolk comrade, kind of sighs and does a little face palm and begins walking over to the group next to Bedwig's, leaving behind one group of 10 figures, all either bound or covered in some way, shape, or form towards the center of this abandoned lumber mill.
I approach what I assume to be my group.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's size these guys up.
Yeah, so you walk up to the first figure, and they're kind of a very extremely thin, but it looks like they have quite a big head. You go ahead and rip off the cloth, and standing before you is like a 5'7" toy knight, who is dressed in plain clothes, just an average commoner's tunic and pants, but still wearing his knightly helm that he was born with. And he says, "Oh, finally, where are we?"
Oh, I'm so sorry. You threw me a little bit for a loop there. I did not think I was talking to you. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Good. I love a good toy night.
You gonna let us free now?
Free? What? No, there's nothing being free. we're soldiers. We're going to go solve the problem Rochester brought us all here to solve. I don't quite understand.
Well, I can't. And at that point, you get his arms undone.
I freed him.
Yep.
Okay.
And he's kind of straightening himself out. And he says, all right, then what needs doing?
Well, haven't you been listening?
I haven't heard a thing. It's been all commotion. They banged me on my head. You guys don't really offer all the information in the pitch. You recognize that, right?
Well, not all the information has been given to us yet. I think that's kind of the point, right? Yeah, we're all just
right.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. You stay put, soldier. Reuben kind of moves on, and he's he looks over at Rochester. I'm sorry. You told me that I would be getting an army that was informed on what we were doing here. So where's my army? And why does it seem like nobody knows what's going on?
He looks at you kind of quizzically and he says, listen, we didn't get to do much research, man. Listen, let me tell you, officer, it's really now that we have to figure out what these folks can do. Honestly, I think we'll probably have to cut most of them. So this is going to be kind of the real check. So let's just make sure if anyone has any essential skills or anything we might need to use, that we know that before the test.
How many cloaked figures are left?
There are 10 total.
Can I roll a dice to choose which one I walk up to, and we can
absolutely.
Agree? Yeah. Okay. I rolled a 10.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So directly to the right of the knight that you just unbound is actually not a bound figure at all, but a clay gourd.
A clay gourd.
Kind of sitting there. Doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I don't really know why I walked up to a clay gourd.
Yeah, it's about 5 feet tall. It's like pretty big.
It's a really big gourd.
I mean, it's mostly the handle.
You guys seeing this?
That height.
This is the biggest gourd I've ever seen. My God. All right. Well, I'm getting distracted, clearly. I'm going to play eeny, meeny, miny, mo again. I know how that I kind of end up like a person. I rolled it. Yeah. I rolled a 10 again.
All right. Yes, fate wills that you continue to inspect this board. And as you do, you begin to see kind of a rush of movement.
I'm rolling a perception check. A 19.
You see this rush of movement very clearly as a swarm of, it looks like insects, comes out of this gourd. And Jake, would you mind telling us a little bit about what we see of your character in this moment?
See a medium-sized figure, completely cloaked in a hooded black robe, with a large red glare in the floor. They have a few tin cups and vials hanging off of a rope that surrounds the rope. You can make out some of their skin. It's not actually skin, but rather a map of insects climbing over each other, larva-like insects. You saw a brief glimpse of their face. You saw that they do not have eyes, ears, a nose, or even something that looks like each of those. The eyes are more like impressions, indents. The ears are small vertical lobes. The nose has a small bump. And the mouth is a hole. Teeth.
My God, I've only heard about you in stories. Aren't you out of season right now? A creature like you? The bug collage thing that you are. I've only heard of it. Is that what you are? I don't quite. This is new. Very fascinating.
We have been told that we are out of season, but we do not know what that means.
Wow, that is fascinating. Very fascinating. All right, you're with me. I'm already sold. Look at you. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Sell yourself. Sell yourself.
What does that mean?
It means tell me what the fuck you're gonna do for me in my army.
We were told that you would help us.
Well, of course I'm gonna help you, but you gotta prove to me that you're gonna be good for my army.
We help those who help us. We help those in need.
And that's the answer I'm looking for. That's great. All right, Pugman, get over here. What's your name?
We are called Shoal, but most refer to us as fish bait.
It's exactly what I was going to call you. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, moving on. Moving on.
All right, let's get another die roll.
We'll step behind Ruben.
Okay.
I rolled a
All
pivot.
right. You walk over two captives down from this strange bug swarm apparition before you. And there is a figure fairly tall with a large charcoal black kind of burlap potato sack, it looks like, has been put over most of them and then tied up. You untie the sack and pull it off. And Emily, would you describe your character for us?
Yeah, so you would be seeing a woman with light green skin and very large green hair with some vines kind of woven into it. Above where her eyebrows would be, she has almost kind of like antler-like branch structures. On one side, it's kind of very elegant looking and straight. On the other side, it's kind of gnarled. And on that same side, she has a mask covering half of her face made of brown leather. Her clothing appears to be made possibly also from plants, but it's mostly green. She's barefoot and looks very confused and say, "This is the strangest job offer I have ever received, and I haven't received many, but I know that this is not. Where are we?"
Try being told that it's not an offer and that it's a demand. That's exactly what I went through. Well, anyway.
That is not
Tell
what the
me-
nice lady.
Tell me exactly what you do good. What are you good at?
Raina reaches out her hand and Druid crafts a small flower into it and hands it to Ruben. Oh, I can do a lot of things. Mostly, things like this, but
And then Ruben kind of just crumples it and then says, "Yeah, but like, what can you do to like be offensive? To like, hit people and stuff."
I don't appreciate you crumpling that flower, but now, do I still have my weapons on me?
You do, yes.
Okay. She would indicate to the battle axe on her back. Say, I try to see the best in things, but this is a cruel world, so I know how to take care of myself and of others.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty heavy weapon. All right, yeah, with me. And over here, this is I don't remember his real name, but he's Fishbait. So you and Fishbait, you meet each other. Whatever, Raina, Fishbait, Raina. There you are.
Greetings.
All right.
She'll druid craft another flower and hand it to Fishbait.
It appears inside of our hand.
I rolled a 7 for the next. I rolled a 7. I walked back up.
Give us another
to
one.
Rain. I walked back up to Rain. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. It's been quite a night being wrapped up in a cloak and whatnot, A 6.
Okay. Immediately to Raina's right, there is the thinnest bag that you've seen so far,
The thinnest
which you whip off to find underneath a 5'6" skeleton. The skeleton has some ornate kind of jewelry that has been put through some holes in its head. And in its rib cage, you can see the open spot in its rib cage. It is keeping a small wooden barrel inside of it.
Okay. I turn to Rochester and I go, Rochester, is this some kind of joke?
Listen, we got to get into everywhere, not just places where enforcers get to go.
I don't know what
it
it means. I don't know what that means for like a dead thing. What does that mean? We get into places with a dead thing.
Hey, fuck you, guy. I'm not dead.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, what can you do?
Well, what do you mean, dude? My name's Ronnie Bilger.
Well, I mean, we're a team. We're a crack team that need to like solve the problem. So, like, what can you do for me?
He looks around like alarmed by that information and kind of starts evaluating everybody. He goes, well, I don't do much, but I hit hard and I got a barrel.
I don't think, no, this isn't right for me. I'm not interested. A barrel, huh? What do you do with the barrel? What do you do with it?
A key element of the barrel is not telling people what you do with the barrel.
All right, you're kind of creeping me out. What do you guys think, Raina, Fishbait? What do you have to say for this monstrosity of a barrel user?
Never been interested in the barrel. Maybe
Ronnie
in the barrel.
His rib cage. No, barrel's only for me.
Yeah, and see, like, I don't really like that either. Like the whole like it's just for you kind of thing. I'm not. I don't like selfish people.
Listen, guy, when you got a gig, you gotta stick to it. Okay, am I on the team?
Okay, how about this? Why don't you hang tight, Raina? I respect you because I've chosen you for the team. So, like, opinions. What do you think?
He has a right to his own barrel. He can do what he wants with it. If he's gonna help out, he's gonna help out, right?
So he's
You're gonna help out, right? She
Yeah.
turns to him.
Yep.
He says he's
All
gonna
right.
help.
Raina's
We can
out.
also
Raina's
use
out.
them for sustenance if we need to.
I'm just kidding, Raina. You're in. You're good. I like you. All right. Well, stand by. All right. And Barrelman's
kind of dejected, but he stands in his corner.
You see, you got to remember about me. Like, I just got thrust into this like last night, and then now I'm here, and I got better things to do. Let me tell you. And if barrel users are going to be like my least resort, then I'm just no thanks. So let's take a peek at what else we got. I got a 2.
Okay. You walk over to a very short person. The sack probably not even, it's more than double probably their length. You pull the sack off and you see before you a orange slod, which is a kind of demonic looking humanoid newt creature. Its skin is still kind of slick and wet. And it kind of looks around panicky and looks at you, kind of flitting its tongue over its lips. And is like,
all right. Tongues I can take. I can take tongues. Do you got a barrel?
No barrel.
All right.
Why?
That's like my favorite thing about you so far. All right. All right. What can you do?
My name is Brian Moss.
All right, Brian. How do you fight? That's really the question I'm asking.
Fight?
Rochester. What is going on? It seems like none of these people know that last night you tell me that you were grabbing the best fighters, and I said yes to that. What's going on with this?
You see Winston Rochester is kind of like he's leaning against the wall next to the door where they came in, and he's kind of just spinning his foot on the ground looking at it, and then he looks up at you as you draw his attention, and he's like, listen, they may not be the best soldiers, we're going to make them the best soldiers, but they were willing. That's the first criteria. That's really the only criteria we were taking at the time. So willing. You tell me.
So you didn't ask these people if they were like fighters. You just took a bunch of people out of their homes, and if they said, yeah, I'll go with you, then they're here right now.
I mean, just because they aren't fighters doesn't mean they can't necessarily be useful.
Pickle Lizard, have you ever been in a fight in your life?
So when I was 13, my sister had this earring. It was very spherical, and I stepped on it.
I rolled the dice again, and I've already walked away.
Okay.
I got a 6 again. I don't remember what that was.
Back to Ronnie.
Back to the barrel.
No. All right, Ronnie, you're in. All right, I'll take the barrel over
Yeah,
whatever
give
the
us
fuck
another.
that was. I don't even care. All right.
For every time you re-roll a character, they get a new skill proficiency, so they can
yeah?
be qualified for the team.
Okay.
Yeah, just kidding.
All right, Ronnie, one more time to tell me anything. Every fight you've ever gotten into, have you ever done anything other than the barrel thing?
Yeah, I get into fights all the time. All the time. I rarely use the barrel. I rarely
All right,
use it.
I'll take you after the slippery lizard for sure. Okay. Fucking 10. I'm so sick. Sorry,
we should start
everyone
rolling
else.
on smaller die.
Yes,
There are
Yeah.
I
much
agree.
less
Okay, let's
suitable
roll a
candidates.
d6. Let's roll a d6.
Yes.
Okay. I rolled a 4.
Yeah. Great.
Everyone's
You-
prepared for my questions.
Yes, you uncover the captive in between Brian and Ronnie. And Taylor, would you please describe your character for us?
So she's fairly tall, pretty tall, very like athletic looking. She has really, really long, like copper hair. She's very pale. And like her eyes look like they've lost some of the saturation, like in the color. Like it doesn't look quite natural, like normal eye, like a normal eye color. What the fuck is this?
All right. Well, I was ready to be all like mean and ask you like how you fight and stuff, but how do you? How do you fight? Like, what can you bring to the table?
I punch things real good.
Okay, yeah, I believe it. I also think you could step on things real good from my
Oh
perspective.
yeah, I mean, like I could punch you across the room if I really wanted to.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I'm sold. What do you guys think, Raina? You know what? Never mind. I don't need your opinion. She's in. She's in for sure. For sure.
Yippee.
This one's in for sure. All right. Okay. Well, let's move on. Let's roll.
Flip a coin.
Let's roll a d4. And we'll see. Maybe I'll walk into. I rolled a 4.
Well, so we only need 2
Still-
results.
still
So a
with
3
me.
and a 4 is a 2, and a 1 and a 2 is a 1.
Fine.
Yeah. So you go next to the kind of now looking very intimidated Slod salamander fellow, Brian. You go past Brian's quivering form over to another fairly thin individual covered in a sack who you uncover. And underneath, Ethan, would you please describe your character for us?
Sure. Yeah, so you're looking at a pretty average built humanoid figure. He has a wooden skin and resembles a puppet because he is one. He's wearing very civilian-esque clothes. He's got like a short sleeve hoodie and cargo pants on, and that's not enough pockets, so he has extra pockets sewn on, and just looks very not intimidating. But before you even like have the bag off, he's like already freed himself and has his hand out. It's like, I'm Flynn Casey. It's really nice to meet you. And it's shaking your hand.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay. Well, this is new. All right. What do you bring to the table there, Flynn?
Well, my main hobby is I like to make toys. So I'm really handy. I'm really crafty. What kind of things are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm not really looking for like a toy salesman per se. Probably going to go check out what else is here. I'm looking for like a natural born killer. like somebody who can just like really bite off like a head, or like, you know, like sword fighting.
Of course.
But clearly that's like not your thing, and I don't. You seem more like a family man to me, and if this is not your flavor, I totally understand. But yeah, we're gonna be out there like decapitating, and like eviscerating, and is that
So
is that
while
kinda
he's saying this, I produce these like 4 very brightly colored balloon like objects, and they start floating up, and I pull out my crossbow and I shoot them out of the air.
Okay.
I can fight.
Go off.
I'll get it. All right. What are you at? Honor, Raina, Fishbait? Like, where do we stand? Other guy, barrel guy. I don't. Barrel guy. Okay. What do we think of barrel guy now that we got like 5 people? Like, what do we think?
I mean, what is your quota?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like,
So then
If
why does
barrel
it
guy-
fucking matter?
okay. Anna is like literally my favorite because she's got like the toad. All right, barrel guy, get out.
Oh man. And as he is walking away from kind of the group, a little dejected, he looks over and he walks up to the one remaining figure in black sack, pulls it off of them, and you see underneath another fish folk, humanoid with green scales, and kind of a large dorsal head fin. And they kind of look around with all the bright light from the torches now illuminating the figures before them, and they say, "Oh man, I didn't even get picked for the team. You didn't even ask." And Ronnie goes, "You can be on my team. It's gonna be good."
Aw.
And
You've created his villain origin story. Congratulations. You have fucked us all.
as that happens, the door opens and you see Lieutenant Commander Winston Rochester, who had walked out for a period of time, comes back in, and he just takes one foot and makes a very loud series of clapping stomps on the wooden floor of the warehouse. And a few of the other groups begin to quiet down. And as they do, he cries out, "Right, folks? Well, listen up. I'm going to make this as quick as I can. Know you all been through a lot, and for that, I apologize. A few of you have taken quite a beating, traveled quite some way, on nothing but the promise of steady work and a purpose in life. That's not enough to keep a toy from Orion's attention for long, and I'm itching to get down to the purpose of why you all are here. But first, we got to see if y'all are even capable of keeping up. So, you've had your interview, but here's your first assignment." And he does like a stomping of his feet and stands up at attention and says, "Right, be one of the last 5 standing in your group, and you've got the job. Fall, we'll part ways here, no questions asked, just like we promised. Good luck." And he turns to the 3 corporals and says, "Forcers, show them how hard we hit when we keep the charter dry." And he walks out of the door.
I'm sorry. Did you just say one of the last 5 standing of your group? Your groups of 5?
Correct. Yes.
Jeez.
Of your group of 10.
Okay.
Of your group of 10, the last 5 standing.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I was picturing
okay.
like a fight to the death here. I was like, no way.
Well,
Okay.
it could be.
We already lost a couple.
Total party kill. Total party kill.
With that, you see, you hear immediately before even getting any confirmation back, Rochester's voice is overwhelmed by Bedwig Plumber, the beaver shield bearer, just going, "Yeah," and whipping around with his warhammer, and he just whips it right into the head of one of the dolls that is standing next to him, and just starts wailing on him.
All right, guys. I
And
like
with
you.
that, we're going to roll initiative.
Oh,
Woo!
fuck. Thought I had it like a little bit. Of time.
So above
It
game,
started. It started.
It has started. I rolled a 3 or 7. I rolled a 7. I cannot believe this.
above
Um,
game, if you guys want Rodney to take my place, I'll give it to him. Ronnie. Sorry.
Ronnie Bilger?
Right.
Let him
He
play.
can have it.
Is it
Yeah, I
skeleton?
love him.
You love Ronnie?
I mean, he's got a
Yeah,
barrel.
I
What
hate
else do
Ronnie.
you want?
No.
He wants
Right.
to be on Ronnie's team.
I'm
Fair
sharing
winner.
that now.
This campaign's going a different direction. Bye, Ethan.
Great.
Just because how the character art is, it looks like I'm just like, fuck this, I'm going this way.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Oh, wait. Before we begin, I'm just going to long rest you guys so we're not
Mm.
in initiative. And we'll start from the top. Okay,
Okay.
everyone gets to re-roll their initiative.
Wait, really?
Oh, because of the
Yes,
long
'cause it
rest.
deleted it when we restarted.
Oh, got it.
But the NPCs had to re-roll too, so.
F those guys.
Joke
Woo!
on you, it's even better.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's better.
Yeah.
Oh, Ruben, you rolled intelligence instead of initiative.
I'm such a silly boy.
But you listen, the strategy was perfect because you rolled a 1. So go ahead and roll initiative.
I rolled a
Perfect.
14
Sure.
that time.
Yep, we'll accept that.
Wait, how did I even do that? Where is intelligence? Oh my gosh. I get it now. That makes sense. That checks out.
Okay. Oh yeah, I will turn off token locking as well. You all can see the map.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Great.
I see a lot of
Okay.
C's.
Yes, so the C's are representative of the other 10 fighters in the other 2 groups.
Are we
Okay.
fighting the other group or are we fighting the rest of our group?
You
Or
get
both.
the impression based on how the melee is breaking out that they're mostly focusing on eliminating the 5 people in their way.
I
for
think,
their
yeah. I
squad.
think what was confusing about that is it sounded like it was like the last of
Yeah,
the
of
5.
the 30. I get
But
you.
no,
got
yeah.
it.
Okay. I think the last group of 5. We're proving which can do this task
Oh,
of the armies
is
we've
part of
assembled.
I have to kill Ronnie.
Yes.
Mhm.
Rough.
Yeah, and so
Hey,
the
maybe
didn't know
reason
this,
why we
man.
Yeah, I didn't
roll
know this was
initiative
gonna
here
get
is
so
because
emotional.
the reason why we roll initiative here is because just because you may be looking to speak doesn't necessarily mean all the NPCs will. So top of the round, Flynn, with a 23 initiative, you get to go first. What would you like to
Wait.
do?
I knew I picked this guy for a reason. Look at his initiative.
Oh wait, actually yes, Raina and Flynn have equal initiative.
What's your deck?
I rolled a nat 20 though.
Ooh, that's a good argument. Yep.
That's
So,
okay.
We'll
Fine.
have Raina.
My
go first.
goodness.
It's okay. Raina's turn is going to be pretty uneventful. She is just going to look around at her companions and be like, I don't really want to fight any of y'all. I just met you. But she is going to hold out her axe defensively and hold her attack in
Sure.
case somebody attacks her.
Yeah. Well,
She will strike them if they do.
The trigger for the attack would be if somebody attacks you.
Yes, for this
Okay.
round. That is what it'll be.
Cool.
And that'll be her turn.
Great. And then Flynn, that would make it your turn.
All right. So first, I want to. I'm gonna pull out another. I'm gonna open up another pocket. I'm gonna pull out this glass like container, this little orb in my hand, and I'm going to like throw it on the ground at Brian Moss, and it's gonna cover him in glitter.
Okay.
That is what I'm trying to do.
And I believe he has to make a dexterity save.
Yes.
Correct.
I-
Do you know what the
I don't-
DC is?
14.
Okay.
I don't have the like fantasy grounds thing to drag on him.
Oh, that's okay.
But yeah, it's 14.
Okay. Well, with a natural 1, Brian Moss fails. And for those of you curious, that spell is the fairy fire spell in D&D. And so with that, there is kind of a burst of glitter, and this cloud of glitter sticks all over Brian Moss with his wet, sticky skin. And he's like, oh, God. And he attacks on him will have advantage.
And then I want to climb over these boxes behind me and then try to get to the other side and like hide behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. So climbing over those boxes would be difficult terrain, but to just get to the other side, you're more than capable of doing that. And so you do.
Sweet.
Anything else for your turn?
That'll be it.
Awesome. All right, Raina's turn is complete. That'll make it our unidentified merfolk's turn. And the merfolk kind of sits up from the mill table that they were leaning against, looks directly at Fishbait and says, Fishbait it is, I guess, and walks up and will attack you, Fishbait. You see that it reaches back for what looks like would be a bow, and it doesn't have the merfolk does not have their bow, and so it decides instead to just swing with a fist at you, and it hits with a 20, dealing you. Oh, that's not how much damage it deals. Ignore me. That is a second attack. Yep, it hits you, dealing 3 damage. Okay. That will end our merfolk friend's turn.
We don't appreciate that.
And yeah, so it walks up and kind of reaches for a second to grab at a non-existent bow, then kind of pulls back this empty fist and just goes and lunges at you. And you can feel some of your swarm being dragged away from you on the back end of that fist. And with that, it will be Anna's turn.
Anna is just going to like have her arms crossed and be like, if any of you fucking touch me, don't even fucking think about it. And she's just going to hold her turn for if someone tries to hit her.
Okay. With that, oh yeah, we had one more person who we never unarmed. That's right.
Her character portrait is adorable. I don't know who drew that. That looks like an Emily piece, though.
It is an Emily piece. They're all Emily pieces.
I'll say they all look like
Except
Emily.
for the main characters.
All the
they're not mine.
NPCs are Emily
Yes.
pieces, yes. Yeah, so there is one remaining figure who is like, hey, not fair. And you see claws come through the sack and start kind of tearing at it in every which direction. And taking its action this turn to unrestrain itself is Zoe, who is a cat stuffkin that you did not have a time to meet, so you don't know her strength.
Just like the cat is out of the bag.
Correct. That was brilliant. And then she kind of just makes kind of an alert pose, trying to get a sense of the situation, but does not act otherwise. Shoal, it is your turn.
We do not want to fight for meaningless reasons. We will turn to the Krill. We do not appreciate you hitting us. Yeah.
We will take the dodge action.
Okay.
And go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oop.
Okay, so taking the dodge action, you'll take 2 attacks of opportunity at disadvantage because you're dodging. So the first will come from our merfolk friend. He takes another kind of desperate swing at you with his fishy smelling claws. Did that roll? I didn't see.
I didn't see a roll.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't see it go through either. Hold on. There we go. And that's with disadvantage, so we'll do one for good measure. Well, that one didn't go either. Something about the way these two windows are overlaid. There we go. Okay. And with a 10, or sorry, with a 12, the fish folk misses. And with that, Zoe will get to take an attack with disadvantage as well. So you kind of become a bit amorphous as you start rushing across the floor here, Shoal. And as you do, Zoe takes a swing as well with her sharpened claws and misses with a 13. And so with that, your swarm is able to quite easily traverse this floor and get over behind Reyna and the boxes.
We look at Reyna and say, we appreciate you for not wanting to fight either.
Yeah, I'm not going to let them hit you again. You just stay by me.
Thank you, friend.
And we end our turn.
Okay. That would make it Laborio Defino's turn.
What the pretentious dick.
You hear Laborio Defino kind of cry out, and he says, "There will be no escaping for you," and starts hustling over here, and takes a swing at you with a club.
He can certainly try
He crits.
and succeed.
He can certainly try. Okay. He crits, dealing a whopping 5 damage.
Okay.
And so as you're descending the crates here, Flynn, you kind of hear from behind, like, not getting away that easily, and you whip around to find a club coming down directly on your eagerly approaching face. And you are dazed a little as it strikes you right on the noggin. And that will be it for Laborio's turn.
All right, everyone under my command, remember, these people are just like you. Name, not kill. All right, this is not what I signed up for. And then I immediately go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I go here I see that Flynn is dealing with some shit. Yeah, that's all I can go. That's fine. It doesn't matter.
If you're looking to get closer, you could take the dash action to get your full movement. But then
I looked at that. I guess I can. Okay, yeah, my bad. Okay. Then I'll do that. And I'm now next to Mr. Lebanon de Flynn.
Laborio.
Lebanon de Flynn. Mr. de Flynn.
Are you the Swedish chef?
Hey, de Flynn. Mr. de Flynn. Right, I'm right behind you.
Is that me?
It's like, don't attack my friend, please. I just made this friend. So, like, don't hurt him. All right. Moving on.
Okay. With that, our good friend Ronnie gets to act. Ronnie turns to face you, Reyna, and smiles at you and goes, "It's barrel time, right?" And
Beetlejuice.
yeah,
I don't know if I like the sound of that.
Ruben
watch
doesn't
as
like him, but
he-
Jack loves him. Like, I absolutely love him.
You watch as he almost proudly, with how his rib cage kind of just out of his chest, pulls the cork from the barrel, and you watch as there's just this jettison of greasy oil that covers the floor beneath you and Fishbait. And I'll make a pretty little drawing here so that you can see.
Pretty little drawing.
That wasn't descriptive enough. I need more.
I need a whole drawing.
There it lies.
Where it lies.
Is that
A little
visible?
box around. I can
Yep.
see it.
Okay.
I can see it.
Oh, the box. Gotcha.
Yep.
I was looking for like a splurt and yeah. Okay, my bad. My bad.
All
An
good.
actual pretty drawing.
Go into After Effects, make an animation.
Yeah, please.
And so Raina and Shoal, you were each need to make a dexterity saving throw, which you make now.
Does this
Raina-
count? This doesn't count as like a trap or whatever.
It
Like it
does not count as a trap, no.
Okay.
Okay. You all kind of see this approaching ejection of oil and kind of deftly move aside of the splashing, the initial impact of the oil as it starts kind of cascading down these crates that you were standing on or around. But it does not deter you at all. So there you have it. And then it will then at that point Ronnie kind of puts the cork back in and then just kind of goes yeah. And that is Ronnie's turn.
Creepy little man.
For real.
Grapey little man. What did you just say?
Creepy.
I heard grapey, like grapes, like
What
the
does
fruit.
that even mean?
I don't know.
Grape oil.
There's a whitest
oil in
kids
the
you know
barrel.
sketch about it.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's grapeseed oil.
Can we
Grape
tell
seed.
what type of oil it was?
No, you cannot tell what type of oil it was. Maybe outside of combat, I'll have you make a check if you'd like, or if you want to spend your turn to make a check, you certainly can. But it is Brian Moss's turn, and Brian Moss is like, "I'm an accountant. I just wanted to set up a new shop," and he starts running this way. And you can see that he is making his way for like a hole in the wall to try and get out of the warehouse.
What a guy.
What a good man.
And top of the round, that will be Flynn.
All right. Something I forgot to do when I got crit on was make a concentration check.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Go ahead and
honestly
do that.
kind of forget how to do that.
So you're just going to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
And it needs to be above a 10 to not drop concentration.
Cool.
Okay.
He's still very glittery.
He is quite glittery.
That doesn't matter too much for me though, because I have Livda in front of me. So as far as people who can see me right now, it's probably just Brian, the knight, and can Ruben see me, or is his sight limited?
Yeah, I would say he has pretty limited sight of you. I would have him make a perception check on whether or not he witnessed what was going on the other side of these crates.
Okay. So what Flynn is gonna do is he's gotten kind of angry being smacked on the head.
Yeah, it hurt.
With his left hand, he's going to take his right like forearm and pull it off, revealing a dagger like underneath, and just like go for the throne.
Okay.
Okay, I know this is kind of weird to break but Ethan, just now, when you did this,
blurred.
It blurred and it looked like we were censoring your dagger. It was really funny.
like-
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's like the Guardians of the Galaxy when Peter
Yeah.
Quill was raising,
was
like,
so
oh, I
perfect.
didn't know it worked like this. Yeah. Auto
Okay.
I
Thanks,
need to play
Go
with
ahead.
this and figure out how to do that on oh, there it is.
It looks like you're flipping us off.
Yeah, you just have to go above your shoulder.
That's hilarious.
Zoom is great. All right. D&D. Ooh. Well, okay.
Oof.
That's rough. It looked cool.
In my head, real awesome.
Yeah, so still kind of coming off of his swing, you stab with your own dagger arm and kind of stab through an open space between his arms holding the club, and he just kind of looks up at you quizzically. Anything else on your turn?
What have you pick?
I'd probably just, I don't know if this would constitute like a full action, but I'd probably try to like sheath it back up before other people saw.
Okay.
But other than that, that'd be my turn. I'm not gonna move.
Did any of us see?
No, probably not.
I think he's behind barrels.
He's behind
somewhere,
barrels
so-
and boxes and stuff.
Well, so Ruben, we're gonna have make a perception check, but Laborio definitely saw.
He must
All
die.
right.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Ruben, could you make that perception
Oh, right now?
check for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I thought it would be on my turn.
No, all good.
One B. There we are. Let's see where we go. I got a 13. A 13 and 18. Should add my,
Yeah, you definitely see this. Particularly because of the fact that it's a miss. It's not necessarily a very artful attack. And so, yeah, you see for a second, it looks as though Flynn is swinging wide, going for a punch. But you see kind of this faint metallic glint for a second that makes you sure that you saw a blade where his hand should be.
Did that guy just flip me off while he was trying to struggle their guy? Oh, no, that's a knife. All right.
And and then Raina, it'll be your turn.
All right. Raina is going to, I think, stay put. She's not liking how aggressive the three people around seem, but she actually, you know what? No, I'll move over 5 feet just so I'm standing and kind of like blocking Shoal from getting attacked again.
Sure.
Yeah, and then she will hold an attack in case anybody attacks herself or Shoal.
Okay.
And she will attack them if they do. But that's going to
Sounds
be
good.
it. She's on the defensive.
Perfect. Go ahead and make another dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, geez. Oh, okay.
Has he moved?
In the yeah.
In the mystery
This will
oil.
be fine. This will be fine.
Oh yeah.
Yep. You can feel grease kind of pooling around your feet as you slop over to stand next to Shoal. But you then prepare yourself ready to inflict damage to any oncoming attackers who might come your way.
I did not appreciate barrel time. I have to say that was not fun like I expected.
Yeah.
Did you really think it was going to be fun?
I thought it was better than a bunch of grease.
Yeah, but he's so creepy. Like, look at him.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right. Ugh.
With that, our merfolk friend, Krill Seaton, starts running over 10, 20. Okay. And makes another attack at Shoal.
Wow.
Oh, no, you don't.
It's really got tunnel vision, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, it almost looks kind of the merfolk looks a little hungry.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Fish folk like fish bait.
He again swings with his fists and misses.
Do I get to attack
With
him
an
now?
8. You do get to attack. Yes, go ahead.
All right. Okay. Raina will say to him, "What did I say about leaving him alone?" And she will take a swing at this guy.
Damn.
Woof. Yeah. Able to maintain sure-footedness in this puddle of grease. Raina whips around, kind of tracking the movement of Krill as he's running, just lunging after Shoal. You line it up perfectly with your battle axe and just wail into his backside as he's coming across you. And you hear him kind of cry out, and he's like, "Ugh!" And he falls to the ground unconscious and
Damn.
dies.
I didn't. Are you okay? I didn't mean to hit you that hard.
That was magnificent.
I didn't mean to hit him that hard.
And with a loud thud, Krill collapses to the ground, and
I literally said maim, not kill. They're people just like you.
I'm happy to say that if Reyna would have done non-lethal damage, you can have that be non-lethal damage. That's
Okay,
fine.
it would have been
Yes.
lethal damage.
Yes.
She is not a
You
killer.
were pretty expressly indicating that Reyna would not kill anybody. So, all right. Well, then Krill is not dead, although I have removed his token from the battle map. He is bleeding out, unconscious, on the floor below Reyna here.
He's decapitated, but he's not dead.
Right. Yes. That's why I had him get hit in the back. Okay. He's got a big battle axe chunk out of his lung, but other than that.
She would still be leaning down, saying, "Are you okay? As long as you're not dead." Told you.
Okay. And with that, it is Anna's turn.
Okay, so Anna's gonna turn to the creepy guy near her.
He's got the best name I've ever seen in my life.
Who?
Ronnie.
I
Ronnie
love all
Rilder?
these names.
Ronnie Bilgy.
Oh, it's a
Ronnie
B?
Bilger.
I thought it was an R. So is it Boney Bilger? No, wait, no.
No, it's Ronnie.
Oh, it's Ronnie.
I'm backing off. I
I
can't.
take
So
back what I
underline-
said. I take back what I said. So Anna's gonna turn to the burial skeleton man and be like, honestly, this dude creeps me out. And so she's going to hit him,
Okay. Go for it.
just like punch him straight into like the spine or something.
Okay.
If I can, let's hope and dream.
I think you.
Yeah, that
I think you
hits.
did it.
With a
Right.
19, you land your unarmed strike.
Okay, and because I have unarmed fighting,
Yep.
it says that when I make an attack roll, it's a D8.
Mhm.
But in Fantasy Grounds, it still says D6. So
Oh, yeah. Sorry. It's a D8 for if you're attacking with nothing else, and I plugged it in wrong. So,
gotcha.
yeah.
So
I will edit
do you
that.
want me to just roll a D8 and then add the 4 for right now, or
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead and just roll a D8 manually, and we'll take that
Okay.
damage.
So that would be 6 plus 4, which is 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's gonna punch him in the spinal cord for
Okay.
10 damage.
Yeah. Still facing away from you, nesting the cork back in its spot. You just walk right up behind Ronnie and just boom, punch him, give him a good crack in the head, and you all hear a crack as Ronnie falls to the ground, dead.
Honestly, it made me uncomfortable. I don't know what the oil is. I'm really not here for it. So let's move on.
And right as the fist hits, you just hear it, "Duh," and then he dies.
All right. That will be it.
Okay.
I definitely think I made a mistake with that one.
She's not pulling punches either.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, there's this cracked skull and skeleton on the floor with a busted barrel of grease in it.
Already decomposed.
Perfect. You will not have to do much more.
It is our cat Stuffkin's turn. You see she kind of looks immediately to make a run for Reyna, sees Reyna standing over the unconscious merfolk, turns to Anna and sees Anna standing over an unconscious Ronnie.
And honestly, I would think twice.
And does a quick double take and decides to go 20
Seriously?
and will attack Anna.
All right.
Yeah, even they don't look like they believe that they're doing it. But you can see their claws extend a little as they try to punch you, and they hit. And that punch deals 3 damage.
All right. When she hits, smoke starts coming off.
Yep.
It's not like super, but it's like gray, like dark gray smoke just starts wisping off.
Yeah, so you all see this kind of like shadowy smoke starts emanating from Anna's form. And you can see that Zoe is even more scared and is like, huh, looking up at this imposingly tall, now sizzling looking fighter.
That was a mistake.
And with that, she will end her turn, making it Shoal's turn.
We will turn to Reyna. Why did you attack that person?
They were going to attack you, or they did attack you.
You said he. We are not he. We are us.
Oh. He was going to attack all y'all. Or, I didn't want that.
We appreciate you. We would like to show you a trick we learned at a tavern.
Oh.
Can we slither under the table?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You've been invoiced the whole time.
We will
I'm
slither
sorry.
under the table.
And I like how you're still using the pronouns out. Like, can we?
Second question.
Yes.
Ronnie's body is still there, correct?
Oh no.
Correct. Yes.
We
Oh
would like
no.
to attack the barrel with the dart.
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it. And for those of you who are curious, Shoal has the amorphous property due to their custom race that they have built for this campaign, which allows them to move through surfaces, spaces, anything wider than an inch. So easily able to get underneath the table. With a 9, I'm going to say you don't hit on that one. I'm sorry.
That one's kind of like a hamster. Really glad I picked that one. That's good. That's good stuff right there.
Like a what?
A hamster.
So
What the
your
fuck is that
swarm
hamster?
gets very small and whips underneath the work table. As it kind of reconstitutes on the other side, you throw a dagger out at the barrel inside Ronnie's chest. But you can hear it. It lands. It would have hit if you're aiming for Ronnie. But Ronnie's already dead. So, anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
We will turn back to Reyna. We will show you another time.
And pass the turn.
Okay. That would make it Laborio Fino's turn. You see him, he kind of takes a step back, reacting to this blade having been exposed, right? And he says, "Dishonor, cur!" and starts wailing on you even harder. Tries to attack again.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
With a 16, they hit with their club, dealing 4 damage. And so Laborio easily steps around your blade attack and just keeps on wrapping you on either side with this club as you do it, Flynn. And Ruben, you would be able to see that Flynn looks pretty severely wounded. Okay.
Okay.
Ruben's turn.
It's my turn. Okay. I'm going to use the grapple attack to try to get Labario to the ground.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Yep. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. Oh, I thought I was better at this than I am. Clearly I'm not. This was a mistake.
Sorry, you could yeah, because of the fact that you're doing the grappling, you have to roll with athletics. Whereas you can roll with acrobatics or athletics to get out.
No, yeah, I knew that. I just
So against a 15, your 8 does not manage to grapple Laborio, but you kind of use your hair legs to hop up and try and get onto Laborio's back and get around him.
can I talk to him and use a persuasion check?
Sure. Yeah. What do you say?
I say, there's only 2 of you left. I promise nothing will happen to you if you just back off. We got our 5. You can go back to the life you were living.
Okay.
Have we got 5?
With a natural 20 on that persuasion check, and a 23 total,
I could never.
I'm going to say that you see Laborio does kind of slacken his posture and looks around, does a quick head count, and says, there are 3 of us left, but okay. And you can see it looks like he is backing down. He's considering it.
I'm sorry. It means 5 remaining is the army, right?
Yes.
I've already selected that 5. That's kind of what I'm saying.
He doesn't
Okay.
understand you.
Oh, okay.
I do.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yes.
That's fair. Okay. All right. I should have worded that better.
No,
and
it's all
that's
good.
my fault. But that has been my turn. I have no bonus actions at this time.
Okay. Great.
Go, Brian, go.
Brian,
Run, Brian,
man.
run.
Really quick, I'm just going to make a quick check to see if maybe Brian heard your plea.
We'll make
Because I
another
think Brian would also.
concentration check. Oh, okay.
Brian heard.
Definitely heard.
Oh, that was
No,
That
no,
was
no.
the-
Constitution.
Oh, yeah, the Constitution for, yeah. No, on a nat. On a nat 1, Brian Moss does not perceive.
Brian is
your-
watching how the paint dries really cool in this room. Like
Yeah.
he's like, wow, they just painted that? That's amazing. Look at how it dried. And now it's where
Wonder
he's
what type
at.
of oil that is.
Look at what kind of oil they used.
You see Brian gets to use the rest of his movement and is getting over the top of the wall when you hear a whizzing. Oh,
You get advantage.
I don't need it because I
Oh.
crit.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And you watch as an arrow just comes through Brian Moss's head, and he comes falling back down and lands on the workbench here.
Brian, no.
I
That's
hated
not
you,
what
but I didn't want this life.
That's not what I intended to happen, but,
Oh, the dice told the story.
but the dice told the story. Yeah. Okay. And then that would make it the top of the round. Flynn. Oh, and I forgot. We keep discrediting Raina's natural 20. So really, Raina, you
Oh.
go first.
Is there a way for you to like actually adjust the thing or no?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could technically make Raina's initiative 24 or 25. Yeah.
Hmm.
That does it.
Raina is gonna try to move out of this oil.
Sure.
So let's see. Let's see. So 20, 25, 30. Yeah. Okay. She's gonna stand next to Anna and also in front of Zoe that attacked her and say to Anna, "You good over here?"
Oh yeah, I'm great. I'll like punch her like once and she'll go down. It's fine.
Okay. She's gonna hold her attack again. Now, if anybody attacks her, Anna, or Shoal, she will attack them.
Amazing. Yeah. Awesome. You can see that Zoe looks perturbed by this as she is kind of in a battle pose, trying to prepare to parry an attack potentially. And Raina walks up to have some side conversation with Anna about, what their plans are. Then that would make it Flynn's turn.
Okay. So double checking some rules real quick.
Yep.
As I understand, if I try to make a ranged attack to someone I'm in melee with, it's at disadvantage.
Correct.
But if that person is flanked, would that cancel it out?
We're not using flanking rules. Otherwise, it would. Yes.
Okay.
Nice try.
Then I would like to take back my earlier statement of replacing me with Ronnie.
Okay.
Ronnie died real quick.
I'm about to join him, I think.
Yeah.
So Flynn is starting to breathing really heavy, like eyes darting around. He sees Brian's corpse hit the floor behind him. And I think I just have to do it. I'm just gonna put everything into this last effort I have here. I'm gonna pull off my other arm, my left arm, and I am gonna reveal a gun.
Okay.
Only for the people that can see me. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to shoot him. Can I like make a perception check to see if there is like a vulnerable spot I can aim for, or is it just all like metal? Is this just a really
Yeah,
bad
no,
idea?
it is just going to be a standard attack.
Okay.
And
Well,
it
yeah.
is ranged, so it's still going to be a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Even if he's
okay.
like point blank, I feel like that's silly when you're shooting and it's point blank
I
and
agree,
you
but I
can
believe
miss.
them's the rules. I'm sure somebody will tell us after. Find out.
Fight them rules. Throw them in the trash. What are rules for?
Disadvantage. Let's see. Dice tell my story.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh no.
Okay. So
I love being level 1.
as Laborio Defino is kind of reconsidering his choices after having been pitched by Ruben, he hears a loud clap as a gunshot goes off right next to his head and misses him entirely. But you can see he's kind of reeling and very surprised from having heard that noise here and looking around quite confused. Anything else on your turn?
I think Flynn's just kind of like almost fetal, like hand-ish over his head and kind of muttering to himself.
Yeah, just holding up your one
Rapidly.
hand.
Yeah.
Yep. Having fired out kind of wildly up into the air.
And of course, the like actual hard hitters are nowhere near him.
Yep. And with that, Anna, it is your turn. You do hear a loud gunshot go off from behind.
What the fuck was
Great.
that? Doesn't matter. She's going to like do a jumping down punch onto Zoe.
Okay.
You
Go
fucked
for
with
it.
the wrong person. Oh, I didn't target her. Whoops. But it's an 18 to hit.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Great. Again, I'm rolling D8. Correct?
Mhm.
So that would be 7 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hit her.
And with that. Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. So, how do you hit her?
So it's just kind of be like a jump up, slam down.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So you just jump up and put a fist square into her forehead. And she also dies. There's a loud crack as your fist connects with her skull, and she falls to the ground unconscious with a thud.
See, I told you that only take like one punch. You'd be down like that. There's not really worried.
Yeah, you took care of that, all right.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay. With that, Joel, it is your turn.
We would like to attack the barrel one more time.
Yeah, go for it.
Why?
Yeah, 17 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay. Yeah, you see grease begins to leak out in a small puddle on the floor.
Party
You
trick.
see a bunch of
It is
Coca-Cola
barrel
dripping out
time
of it.
again.
Turns out it was a soda machine.
Right about there.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's like what? That's why would you
That's-
do that?
That's where Ronnie died.
Barrel time. It's a party trick.
I like
Do
that.
you like it,
I'm
Raina?
with it. I'm with it. I'm with that.
And we will slither over to Raina and get up close. Do you like the party trick?
You know, you
Not
didn't get
using
any
advice
oil on
effect.
me. You didn't get any oil on Anna. It was just fine. You did a good job.
Thank you.
But it's no more barrel time now. That's not the way it works.
It's so
Okay.
There.
Yeah.
That's great. Awesome. Oh, whoops.
Oh no.
Sorry, I'm messing with everything here with my drawings. Okay.
It's nice knowing you, Ethan.
The fun campaign, guys. Do it again
So-
sometime.
No, with a nat 20 persuasion check from Ruben,
Oh yeah, he convinced him not to.
Livorio Defino, especially now that he was essentially disoriented with a gunshot, but didn't take any damage. So he just
Yeah,
hears
it's just a warning shot.
Yeah, as essentially for him, his
It was
experience
aimed at his head, but
right.
you know, it was
Ruben's
a warning
like,
shot.
hey, hold on now a second. You don't have to die for this. And then just for good measure, Flynn is like, bah! And looking around, but you do see he lowers his club in his hand, and he starts backing away slowly, and oop, there we go. He takes a step back from both of you with like hands up, saying, "Okay, you have your 5.
Is this man about
No
to be
need-
shot?
No need to fight, right?"
Not by me, apparently.
So
Yeah.
Ruben, you could take an attack of opportunity if you want as he walks away.
all right, mate. I'm gonna check you with words. You're gonna pick up and you're gonna keep picking up. Is that all right with you?
He's nodding eagerly. And actually, since you don't attack him and you say that, he'll move a bit further back, and now he's up against the wall.
All right.
Okay, that
Good boy.
is Liborio's turn, and with that, we are out of combat ostensibly.
Because poor Brian Moss.
Having negotiated some passivity from Liborio, the combat dies down, and you can see that it is dying down across all the groups. And you can see that Bedwig Plumber, the Beaver Stuffkin corporal, is actually still fighting the remaining 4 that are still up. And you can hear them protesting, and it's like, "Come on, it's good for you, for glory!" And with that, there's a loud crash as the door gets kicked open again. Lieutenant Commander Winston Rochester walks back in, and we will pick up there after we return from a quick break. So having concluded this combat, we're going to take about 20-minute bio break. We will be back in about 20 minutes to conclude tonight's session. So stick around. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the conclusion of session 1 of Troubles in Toraigh here on Chronicles of the Fray. I'm your host, MC Fay. With me, we have my friends, and I figured since we've gotten halfway through session 0, we might go around and have everybody reintroduce themselves, as well as the name of their character, plus the class that they are playing. Jack, why don't you start?
Hello, my name is Jack, and I am Reuben Baxter. I'm a little stuffkin. For those of you not aware of the universe, that is a little stuffed animal. I'm a bunny stuffed animal, and I'm a ranger. I'm a little monster hunter ranger, and it's super cute. So yeah, go ahead.
Taylor, why don't you go next?
I'm Taylor. I am playing Anna Molotova, and she is currently a vampire, and she is a fighter.
Great. And then Jake, how about you?
Hello, everybody. I'm Jake. I am playing Fishbait, also known as Shoal, and
We are association, conglomeration of larvae, maggot, insects. We are a swarm keeper ranger.
Great. And Ethan, how about you?
I'm Ethan. My character is Flynn Casey, who is a poppet, and I'm an artificer.
Great. And then Emily.
All right, I am Emily. I play Raina. She is at least mostly a dryad, and she is a Path of the Ancestral Guardian barbarian,
Awesome.
even though she knows druidcraft.
Cool. And so we return now to the conclusion of what ended up being a pretty brutal melee. There are several corpses on the ground within this little grouping here, including a cat stuffkin, a merfolk, as well as a barrel-chested skeleton. And so you can see the two other groups. The melee is also winding down. It looks like there are a lot more bodies in the other groups. It's like entirely bodies except for 5 remaining people. And you hear that clap as the door to the warehouse is kicked open, and the lieutenant commander walks in and begins kind of striding forward towards these circles of fighters.
As he's striding forward, we would like to move over to the dead salamander
Oh no!
and start encompassing him.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Poor Brian Moss. Rest in peace, Brian Moss.
You watch as Brian Moss becomes enveloped by Shoal. And what else do they witness as Brian Moss' slad form becomes enveloped?
We flatten out slightly
Mm-hmm.
to fully encompass and then straighten back up. There are a lot of movements, but he has completely disappeared inside of our form.
You see that there is just a little slod skeleton remaining. And as that happens, Lord Commander Winston Rochester comes up to the banisters of the kind of overseeing platform, looks down onto the warehouse floor, and calls out to you, Reuben. And he's like, okay, looks like we got some talent here.
Thank you for the food.
We've got some what here? I'm sorry. Talent. I thought you said
Yep.
town. Okay.
Nope.
Got it. Yeah, we've got some talent here. Now, what the fuck was all this then?
He looks at you and says, listen, Baxter, I'm not sure what to tell you, son. We really didn't know what we were getting into with this. And he looks at the skeleton on the table and is like, honestly, it looks like we came out on top, though. So, looks good.
No. We did not come out on top. The idea was that I would get to choose my 5 champions. Now, I chose them. Now, what is this? What is this killing stuff?
Well, I didn't necessarily specify whether or not we should go killing these poor folk. That was not the instruction. The instruction was last 5 left standing. And 5 stand.
So what's going to happen to the ones not standing?
Well, the ones we can look after, we'll look after. And he...
stop you right there. What does look after mean?
As you're saying that, he raps his fist on the banister and lets out a whistle. And you see some of the soldiers, the nondescript black cloaked soldiers, come out and they start gathering, picking up a few of the bodies and kind of triaging, carrying people out on stretchers and whatnot.
We like to move on top of the cat.
Okay, yeah.
No, come on.
As Shoal is making their way over to the cat, they do drag away Ronnie Bilger. And there are 2 soldiers who are carrying Zoe's body out of the room. As they go to pick Zoe up, Shoal, you just kind of walk up and stand right over them.
We are not done with that one.
No. Stop that right now.
And they
Stop
kinda look
that
at
right
you.
now.
I kind of huff and puff and make my way towards the center.
Hmm?
And I'm here now, and I say, why do people always die with some stupid little misunderstanding of an order?
Well,
I mean,
listen, I'm looking forward to you running a tighter ship there, Baxter, with your new responsibilities. Let's see how well you can train these 4 up. So, what's the verdict? Who are these 4 that we're going to be taking with us?
Well, we have Flynn here. Now, I don't really like what he's got going on. There was a perfect showcase of how good he isn't. But he's full of surprises. I'm sure, other than the gun hidden in his arm, that he could do something else with that, like a cannon or something. I don't really know. I haven't looked. He's here. He's clearly better than the ones that died. That's whatever.
I think that's a fair argument. Yep.
Anna, I'm having second thoughts about Anna. I said to Mame.
While this is all happening, the shadows are slowly receding.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a thing going on that I'm really scared of. It's fun. I want her to do her. She seems very threatening. And
sure. Threatening's good. We like threatening.
No, but I don't really know how to give orders to that and whatever. Remember where my roots came from. I'm not really a leader, I just I like being told, Yeah, moving on. Okay. Raina, she's a sweetheart, and I know that she could be very agreeable with my orders and whatnot. She was a protector of the fish bait. Now, okay, when was the last time you saw one of these at this hour? At this hour, this time of year?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that fish bait's a weird one.
Right?
Yeah, he's out of season.
He's out of season
a good 7 years. I don't know.
Good 7 years. All right. I thought it was
What does that even mean?
Well, okay, let me tell you this. The bugs come together at the summertime, and it's fall now, and they create this fish bait. You can explain it better. Why don't you explain exactly what's going on with you?
We are hungry. We would like to eat. Maybe eat. Maybe have the body. We said to the guards.
You cannot have body.
Make a persuasion check, Fishbait.
Oh God. Minus.
He is so persuasive. I could just tell, like, when I met him.
Hold on one second here. Let me find the right stats for this here fella. Okay.
It's very aggressive.
Was it?
Yeah, so as you kind of extend a arm like a looking appendage forward towards the corpse of Zoe, one of the soldiers kind of starts moving quicker and goes, buzz off, fish bite, and just starts tugging Zoe away.
We will turn to Reuben. May we have this body?
No, yeah, okay, like, cut. No, in there, like, I'm not interested in there. Maybe, like, when we leave here and we start, like, taking out monsters or whatever the command is, that you can do that. But, like, this is a person just like these people, and I'm not interested in, like, watching you devour that right now. I hope that's okay.
We understand. We appreciate and thank you.
Okay. Okay.
We like your opinions.
Well, there you see, this is why he's on here. This is why he's on this team. For
To
sure.
be fair to him, though, this is the natural process of life. That's not a person anymore.
Yeah, but, like, what if that was you? What if that was you?
That's
Would
what's
you-
supposed to happen. You break down and become part of the earth again.
Oh my god, I've made a terrible mistake with this team. I'm creeped out, like, insanely creeped out right now. That's fine. That's fine. Raina?
What happens to anything that's dead?
Raina, Fishbait, I love both of you, and I accept you.
We accept
That's my
you.
point.
All right,
We will
well,
accept you when your time comes as well.
This is getting very weird.
Lord Winston Rochester gets back up kind of towards the center of this overseeing platform and places both of his kind of large claw-like hands on the railing. And he says, all right, well, you all have put your cards on the table, so I bet that you'd all agree that it's about damn time I put mine on the table. The gargoyle whips his cloak off of his back and over his wings, revealing a shining set of plate armor. Though it all looks ornate and of impeccable quality, it's obvious that not every piece of the armor is from the same set. Adorning his chest and shoulders are cream-colored heraldry with the iconography of a rectangular piece of parchment with the squiggle of a signature at the bottom and a large T on the top corner of the parchment, as if it were stamped there.
Oh, Rochester, it's been years since I've seen this arrangement. It looks like you got Sonny's helmet right there.
He kind of laughs confidently, and as he does, you hear Laborio Defino. He says, "The Tory enforcers? Are you kidding me? I was just there. Why did we have to come out here?" And as he says that, two soldiers walk up and kind of grab both his arms and start walking him out. And he doesn't seem to put too much up. He doesn't seem to put up too much of a fight as he's withdrawn from the warehouse. He says, as the night's being dragged away, he says, "Well, because, Knight, today is the last day that any of you will work for the enforcers. For those of you who have never been to a major settlement in Dub Quain, you may not know that the enforcers are one of the largest, most relied upon mercenary guards in the nation of Dub Quain, with chapters in most major cities. When our company starts work with the settlement, we sign a charter with them. This charter binds the city to use only us to defend its borders and enforce its laws. But should any major leader in the city government of Toraigh call for a vote, that charter can be invalidated with 1 week's notice. Now, it's a great system in many cities, and there are shining examples of great charter enforcement coming out of the capital city of Karnak. You should really read the white papers. It's really something. But does anyone know why the system doesn't work here in Toraigh?" And he looks around kind of expectantly, without raising his hand, you hear Bedwig Plumber call out, "'Cause the criminals run the government." And Winston Rochester takes a step back and he says, that in a way. And so you see, when the criminals control the politicians and you have to keep the politicians happy, well, you have to keep the criminals happy too. Now, a pair of leaders less inscrutable than your Lord Commander Abincale and I might just kick back and settle in, let the fox guard the henhouse. But we got the world to think about. Toraigh is one of the few cities in the world where toys and monsters coexist. You know that the maid up in Erticoons, they'd like nothing more than an excuse to say the monsters here are getting out of control, to reclaim my beautiful city for the Church of the Maker and leave it to toys only. And the old faith out of Karnak, if they even pick up the slightest whiff of illegal magical contraband coming through our ports, being distributed to these sinister wilder god cults that plague us, it's the end of the line for both the monsters and the toys alike who come across the path of such foul magic. These underbelly lords, as people like to call them, the Golden Grin, the Mungers, the Grey Bloods, they only care about their own. They don't see the bigger picture like your Lord Commander and I do. So we've decided that even though we work for them, we're going to try and take them down for the good of the city and for the good of the nation. We will keep the charter dry. And when he says that, you hear Bedwig cry out, Corporal Plumber, and he says, keep the charter dry. And you can see Kelda Melton kind of looks at him and sighs.
Man is very annoying.
I did not ask enough questions last night. Yep, all right. Keep the charter dry.
What was this talk about? Cards and tables?
Nah, don't worry about it, Fishbite. You stay with me, and we'll keep cards where they should be.
What
Keeping a
does it have
charter-
this?
The hubbub kind of dies down between all three of the groups. Winston Rochester waits until he has everyone's attention again. He says, so here are the rules of engagement. You've each been given a bank account that will receive 2 gold a day in the account per day that you work on our behalf as undercover agents. Your squad leader will be given a codex with a series of encoded messages. Each is the location of different dead drops or for leaving or picking up messages from Captain Atlas and myself. Otherwise, arranged via dead drops. Without that, hopefully you should never see me again. Starting after I walk out this door, you don't know me. We've never met. You and your squad need to infiltrate Toraigh as independent operators and establish trust with the folk of this city. Earn some trust and return your first dead drop by the end of the week with any actionable intel that might help us stop some crime before it happens and puts the charter at risk. If we feel like you're not getting enough for us to waste our time paying you, then you will be dismissed. Are there any questions?
Now, no one speak until I ask the questions. Does everyone understand? Do you have questions? And you ask me these questions.
Will we be exploring?
Will we be exploring?
Ruben, do you ask this to Winston? Or
Yeah,
do you think it to yourself? Okay, just checking.
Sounded rhetorical.
Lieutenant Rochester, will we be exploring?
Well, the method of your infiltration of Tor will be ultimately up to you. But I imagine that you'll be doing all the things that those lowlifes who seek to profit in our city see value in. There certainly are plenty that see value in exploring. So that would definitely be a route.
We shout.
Fishbait, does that answer your question?
Dry the charter. Dry the charter.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
No, it ain't dry. We're going to keep it dry, but I like the spirit.
Keep it
Keep
dry.
that energy.
Something really creepy about that chant. All right. Anybody else?
Now,
Have any
Reuben,
questions?
you just said you didn't ask enough questions last night. Are you just as fuzzy on what's going on here as the rest of us?
I think it's been pretty clear that like no one knows what's going on here.
That's an understatement.
Now, listen, that's fair, but listen, I'm an open book now, and this is the last time, hopefully, that you ever see me. So
He's the
ask
enemy.
away. Otherwise,
Why won't we have been facing literally every problem, and no one will tell us who the bad guy is. I think the people have the right to know who the main person is that we're all facing, and you just won't tell us. And there it is. There it is. The bad guy that took my wife, the bad guy that steals all the money from all the people. You made it sound like these people were giving their attention to the problems, but all of these people were kidnapped and then faced to death. What is with that?
Somebody
with that?
married you?
now listen. Everybody's metal must be tested. We had to test everybody's metal before we could disclose this information so that we had the plausible deniability necessary in order to keep the charter dry. Now that we have that, yeah, see, he gets it.
What the fuck does that even mean?
That's my metal.
It's very simple.
I think he's just
The charter
repeating what
has
he
been
said.
signed. Okay. And there are lowlifes and criminals throughout the city of Toraigh who would have their muck and their ocean water come up and wet that ink and wash it right off, and we'd be looking at a whole new charter. And so our mission, as is always, is to keep the charter dry.
Keep the charter dry.
Oh Jesus. Is this like an agreement that like what is this charter?
The charter is a legal document that is held by both the enforcers proper and the city of Toraigh.
Right.
So we're like now the clandestine enforcers.
Exactly. The thing is, and he looks down at himself, we stick out like a sore thumb. People
You don't
know
say.
when we are coming. We come after the crime. We clean up the mess. We punish those who committed the crime. But if a large enough incident happens here, it could disrupt the balance in the city of Toraigh and the rest of the world ultimately because of all the port traffic that comes through here. But these criminals, they don't see that. And so, yes, since they're taking a little of our side by, putting money in the pockets of politicians that don't belong in, we're going to do the same, and we're going to put some of our people in with them. And you are those people.
Yippee.
So you're asking us to get involved in the crime to stop the crime at the source, essentially?
Well, I'll tell you, sweetheart, you can come up with your own strategy however you like. What's most important is just that you prove value to these folk so that when we need value from them, you can work them good. Now, whether that comes from some more what I witnessed today, or whether it comes from some more peaceable negotiating, that's up to you. The only thing that I need is results.
I'm hearing a lot of euphemisms, but okay. You're paying us, and we're cleaning up crime. That can only be good, right?
Depending on who is doing the crime and what crime they are doing.
I guess we'll find out.
He looks over to the other two corporals, Corporal Kelda Melton and Bedwig Plumber. And you can see that their cohort has gotten recomposed now, and they kind of nod affirmatively, ready to go and ready to pursue their next mission. Yeah.
Can I see Kelda from where I am?
Yeah, you can see her. She is the middle group, so she's across from the work tables in between you and that middle group.
Give her a little wave.
Yeah, she gives you like a little bit of recognition, and she gives you like a, "Hey, you're here. You made it. Great."
I live.
We will also wave. We see Raina wave and we wave.
Yeah, and she's like, "Hey, you're here." Oh, fuck. And
You guys know Kill the Two. All right. This makes me feel a lot better about what's going down right now.
As everybody is getting ready to group up, there is some rustling that can be heard in the pile of rubble over in the it's in the top right hand corner of the warehouse, where there is like a workbench and a bunch of collapsed stone from the wall. But there you can hear some rubble moving and falling, and as you do, you see Winston Rochester's head picks up immediately, and it looks right over. And he says, "Baxter, look alive," and points over there, and starts making his way over to this pile of rubble himself.
Did we notice anything about the room?
Yeah. You all, I think I would say that Ruben and Shoal, with your passive perception, you would definitely detect this too. There's some type of activity under there. It seems like a living thing is there.
Okay. I would like to just perceive, I guess.
Sure.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom. There's the roll. It is a 13. It's an 18 because of my 5 proficiency.
Yeah. With an 18, you're able to spot. It's not visually obvious what the consistency is, but you can see there is some kind of yellow figure that is trying to make itself smaller within the rubble.
We would also like to see if we can tell what it is.
Sure.
Can I, while I'm clearly seeing this, while he's perceiving that as well, can I do something to like try and grab the yellow figure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So Ruben, so Winston Rochester points it out, and Ruben, you're able to dash right over there if you'd like. You can jump over there immediately.
Oh, because I'm a rabbit?
Correct.
Is that you saying jump? Because I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah, so I will use athletics to jump over there ASAP.
Yep.
ASAP Rocky. 15 plus 2 proficiency.
Well, that's Arcana, but you actually don't need to make an
I cannot
athletic checks
believe
for this.
That
this is something you can easily do. Yeah. And you make your way over, and with the 26 perception, Shoal, I think you would notice this at the same time as Ruben. But there is a rubber duck underneath.
It's a rubber duck.
Well, it's not rubber. It's made of flesh, but it looks like it's made of rubber.
Sounds awful. Made of flesh.
Flesh to me.
And I mean, we all are.
This ducky is flesh. For sure.
It is like trying to curl up and like nestle further into this kind of pile of rocks that's getting bigger as this wall crumbles a little bit.
Okay, so the wall's crumbling. I don't obtain it. I don't obtain anything. It's just crumbling.
No, I mean the wall. It's like little bits of stone. You could easily reach in and grab the person in there if you wanted to.
Okay, well I do want to.
Okay.
What do I do? What do I want for that?
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
That is totally what I wanted to do before. Okay, great. I rolled a 20. A nat 20.
Yeah,
plus 1.
Easy. So you will watch as Ruben hops up and hops over the bench over to this pile of rubble, just sticks a hand in and deftly pulls out by a wing this rubber-looking duck creature.
Oh, okay, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And as you do, you can see the rest of you would notice that Lord Commander Winston Rochester and Kelda and Bedwig all immediately react. Winston Rochester looks at the other two, and he says, It's a spy. We can't stop this operation before it's even got legs. And he kicks over the railing.
Now, let's hear him out. I'm holding this duck right now that I've just found in a wall. Like, you guys have been walking over me for years, telling me what to do. And for once in your lives, let's just listen to the duck.
As you say
Right
that,
here in my
Winston
arms.
Rochester interrupts you and says, everyone scatter. Baxter, kill the spy, burn this place to the ground, and he walks out the door.
That's
And
not
you see
very
everybody else
dramatic.
begins grabbing all their stuff. Bedwig Plumber immediately is like, forward men! And they begin running out the
I
door
just
on their side
take
of the
the
building.
duck. I take the duck and I put it in my jacket pocket.
Well, so
Wait,
it's a
I thought that's
person-sized duck.
It's a person-sized duck.
Yes.
When did I miss that description?
Yes.
I'm so
Sorry.
sorry.
No,
No,
you didn't
my
miss it.
bad.
I never said it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
I take
like
the person
other
and I
toys,
put it
yeah,
in my
it's about
pocket.
people size. It's a medium creature.
I have people-sized pockets in this thing. It's a great jacket.
Pockets
It's a
of
great
holding.
jacket. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
As you're kind of holding the duck by the wing, it's like, hey, let me go. And it's struggling and kicking and
All right, I'll let you go. I just try to save your life, but apparently no one wants to save your life other than me, so I'm leaving.
what is everyone else's reaction as the rest of the group in this building all kind of start running different directions and leaving you all behind?
Is that a great?
Is that a grate like next to my character on the map?
No, that's for the.
No, that's where the
that was from the
pool
fight.
of grease is.
No, the middle of
no,
the
the
floor.
left side.
Doing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
thought
are
for
we-
sure you said grape.
What is with you and grapes?
Dude, I don't know, man. I love grapes. They're good. Like,
I
what do
mean,
you want
they
from me?
are, but like,
That is great. Yes.
He will slither into the grave.
Okay. Shoal slithers inside the grate.
We will
As
back
you do-
out and realize we forgot the gourd.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. What about anyone else?
So up until this point, Flynn was kind of just still muttering to himself and writing in a journal he pulled out. Just like, I should have disengaged. I should have done this. Blah, blah, like
oh, he's
not
beating
paying
himself
attention
up.
at all. And then
Yeah.
after the commotion started, I'm just kind of looking around trying to find friendly faces. And I don't find fish baits because he's in a grate.
Yep.
So I kind of just look to Reina and Anna and see what they're doing.
Okay. Raina and Anna, what are you doing?
Anna's literally just like standing there, arms crossed, like just watching everyone, like just scattering, being like, "What the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, what the hell did I get myself into?"
Meanwhile,
This
everyone's like,
Clear- this was clearly a mistake.
Yep.
This is
Well,
Oh,
she's clearly fire resistant. Sorry, no, go ahead.
we're suddenly being told this duck person's a spy. He was just, how do we know? They're all just running off after telling us to kill him?
At this point, it is only your squad, Ruben, that is left in the room. And you can hear through it's not a well concealed space, this warehouse. You can hear through the holes in the roof and walls that there are footsteps padding out in every direction as people are running off.
There's clearly a fire and we need to leave, right?
No, there is no fire. He told us to kill the man and set fire. There's no fire.
Right.
The duck says, kill me. No, don't kill me. Don't kill me. That's not necessary. Listen, come on. I just needed some wood.
He'll slither over
This
to
is a weird place to pick wood, my friend.
It's a lumber mill.
Is it your
Relax.
lumber mill?
Well, no.
Are we
but-
underground right now?
No, so
No.
you're indoors, but you're at ground level. You're at this abandoned lumber mill that is in kind of the cliff top forests that are to the northeast of Toraigh proper.
Flynn, can you burst a hole in the wall?
Burst a hole in the wall.
All right. If you can't answer that quickly, then someone else has to do it.
We will
Are you
have
going to
to
do it or not?
I cannot.
The
We
I'm
will
sorry.
ask the duck while they're talking.
Um,
How do you feel about the charter?
How do you
You're-
feel
you're
about
asking this
lifting
to
a
the
hole
duck?
in the wall?
okay, cool. As that is happening, Jack, I'd like you to make an athletics check to contest this duck trying to break free from your grasp.
What a sentence.
Yes.
Duck. Well, it's a man-sized duck. Duck
Listen.
apparently.
Rubber ducky.
Made of flesh.
You're the
I
one.
mean,
Made
you're
of
a,
flesh.
you're a man-sized.
There's a
stuffed
fleshy
rabbit.
duck in my hands,
You
guys.
make grappling.
Just
lots of fun.
stop.
Yeah, I'm
I rolled a
scared
6
of
plus 1.
truth.
I'm sorry, I rolled a 5 plus 1, which means I get a 6.
Unfortunately, the rubber duck gets an 18. And with a whip of its wing, it whips it out of your hand and pulls its wings in and lands on the ground and begins hustling.
I fucking hate
Trying
this
to get
duck. I'm sick of helping people. I'm sick of everything. Are you guys people working under me or no? Let's get this fucking duck and get out of here.
Keep the charter dry. And
Wait,
we will-
is the
we would
sequel
like to
duck?
throw a dart.
Should we roll initiative for this?
Yes, we are going
Okay.
to roll initiative for this.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Well, so it begins.
Okay.
I'm even lazy in my video game life. It's not even a video game, it's just a game.
Did everyone roll initiative?
Yep.
Lynn, you rolled initiative?
Yeah.
Yep.
You got a 23 again?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dope. Okay. Awesome. Well, yeah,
Must be
everybody
nice.
gets to act before the
Yeah,
duck
it must
does.
be.
So,
Really?
Lynn,
The
what do
duck
you do?
the duck rolled more than a fucking 4 or
Um,
less than a 4?
That
Yep.
duck wants to escape so bad.
Where's the nearest exit here?
So the nearest exit is all the way on the opposite side of the building, like where the overseeing platform is. That's the only way to get in, is you come in on either side through the overseeing platform, and then there's stairs down to the work floor.
I moved
Okay.
my character token to a full square, closer
Okay.
to the duck. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We're not
So
keeping directly to the map at this point. We'll just do theater of the mind for this.
I'm taking sprint action and I'm just straight line leaping over boxes. I'm out of here.
You're looking to leave?
Yeah. Just
Alright.
like straight line.
Mhm.
Can I make like an acrobatics to not get difficult terrain and like jump over
Sure.
these?
Yeah,
things?
if you'd like.
Cool.
Yeah, 17, you can easily scale the boxes and you hop over.
So 5. Each square's 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I'll get to like here. I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Alrighty. Raina, it is your turn.
Wait,
Right.
Oh,
it
sorry.
skipped,
No, it was the turn order was out of order from our previous combat. So Shoal, it's
Oh.
your turn.
we will attack the duck.
Yep.
It won't let me target.
Oh, sorry.
The duck isn't. Yeah,
There
the
you
duck isn't.
He's not in the. There it is.
Commander. Commander Duck.
Yeah, that hits.
It
Go
does
ahead and roll
not say
damage.
commander.
What does it say?
It says commoner.
Commoner.
I'm so sorry. I'm
Keep
okay. So
charter
like to
dry.
defend myself, the font on all of my fantasy ground stuff is tiny.
Yeah, we'll have to
So,
do
like-
that thing to switch it to be big. We
Yeah,
figured
we
that
just
out.
figured out how
earlier.
to fix it.
I'm pretty sure
Um,
that's grape.
Wait. You know,
Uh,
I was wondering why everyone in the combat tracker said great. I was like, what is this? What, is this a joke? Come on.
Are you guys fucking with me?
Are you guys fucking with me?
What's with the grapes?
Shoal, you whip around and your swarm shoots a dart out of your hand like appendage. It goes right into the tail of this duck as it is fleeing. You hear the duck cry out in pain and fall to the floor. And it begins dying. As it falls to the ground unconscious, however, its eyes begin to glow a
The fuck?
turquoise green with a turquoise green energy as it's lying on the ground, right? And its head kind of twists in an unnatural way to be
Hate
facing
that.
back at at most of the rest of you. And the light now is also coming out of its mouth as its beak opens, and it says, "The depths will not be kept down. The depths will not be contained." And it's not this creature's voice. Then you watch as the creature's form glows with a bright turquoise bluish energy, and begins to split and roil and quiver as a massive swarm of writhing eels begins flowing out of the body of this rubber duck and all around it. And that is where we will pick up next week.
Awful. That's awful.
My-
What?
Yes.
Rubber
The duck is.
ducky.
I'm really
Rubber
glad
ducky,
we
you're the
stopped
one.
protecting that duck.
Yeah, grappling's fun. Anywho, thank you all very much for watching. We had an absolute blast doing this first session of Troubles in Toraigh. We're really looking forward to telling the rest of this story with you. And so we hope that you will come back next week at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday for session 2 of Troubles in Toraigh. Until then, we hope that you'll engage with us on social media as well as on our website, our Patreon, and everything else. Let us know how we can make this a better viewing experience for all of you so we can help share more of the fun that we're having doing this. Until then, everybody have a great evening and let the dice tell the story. Have a good
Have
night.
a great evening. Goodbye.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Get the fuck out of here.
Adios.
When is this ending?